Hello everyone, Seth is here with a new video. I bet some of you are probably getting bored of my art talk by now, so let's try something different and more entertaining. And what I have in mind is OC reviews, where I'll be going through with the tributes and give my opinions on what I like and dislike about them. Also, I will be giving a bit of my own touch on what I think can be done to make the character at least more appealing to me in terms of design if it is necessary or if I feel like it. Of course, I like art talk. I must tell you first that the OC reviews will be unscripted, so expect me to be twisting my songs a lot and maybe stutter quite a lot. I'll try to edit those out so then doesn't happen too often when you end up getting to see the final product. So anyway, let's get right into our first victim for the day, Antumbra. Did I pronounce his name right? Yeah, whatever. Before I begin, let me tell you first that when I do OC reviews, I won't be roasting the characters, but the creator, Antumbra, has given me his permission to give his character a death sentence, so I will have to respond in kind and destroy his character. Anyway, back to the reviews. Let's go through his character one by one. First, his name. So, he is a great dragon, but his name is Antumbra, which of course translates to ant and shadow. But he is a white dragon, so that's one mistake. His height is 6 feet tall, so this is mandatory. And he weighs 210 pounds. He likes sport, beer, drawing, new socks, but you can see that he doesn't wear. I don't think he will be wearing any socks. So when he mentioned that he liked new socks, I'm sure he's talking about the experience of buying the socks and never wearing them. Cooking and bad jokes, so I guess that's where he gets all the confidence from and why he likes himself so much. He dislikes height, yet he has wings. Tequila, height, wings, and heights. Well, and that should cover his characteristics since there's no story for me to butcher. So why don't we move on to his design? And from the looks of it, he clearly knows what he's doing. So let's break down the part of his design one at a time. First, we'll start with the color. For the colors, we have the generic gray as his main color with a dark shade of highlight, and I like it. After all, his color scheme, they blend, and it makes the character look natural, which is something a character should have. Well then, next let's move on to judging the flow of design. Well, this is the term I use for it, but most artists will probably say something like the shape and segmentation. But what I mean by the flow here is that usually when you look at the character and the accessories or the armor, the clothing, and the add-ons they put on the character, it adds a certain amount of weight. Like, let's see. Like when you see a character here, so let me draw a quick body. And then you have a spoiler here. Yeah. This side will feel heavier. And because it is heavier, it's the kind, it will attract your eye more to look toward that direction. Not just because you have stuff added there, Like this side has a spoiler and this side is just a naked shoulder. It's not because of that, it's because there's a certain way to it. And usually, even if we add a lot of stuff to his character as well, if the side feels heavier, you are more likely to focus on that part. That's what I believe and I got from my experience. So anyway, back to his character. You see on Antumbra characters, he evenly distributes the extra scale add-on to his character so that it doesn't feel too heavy when you look at one side. Maybe there's a tattoo, but that doesn't feel that, it doesn't add that much to the weight. So it doesn't disturb your focus, which is a plus for me. Well then, what about the clothing? Let me change the color here so we can see it easier. Okay, yeah, there we go. So for the clothing, it's a plain combo, which isn't bad. After all, this kind of clothing will easily blend in with any modern setting if he writes story or comics with this character, which I believe he does. So yeah, that's a pass for me. And maybe because the clothing is very plain, the artist is lazy or something, so he wants something he can draw really fast when he has to draw his character. So yeah, and that's the three topics of the way that I want to cover, at least when I judge a character. An overall solid character. Now that I have covered what I like about his character, how about we move on to what I believe can be improved about his character. I'm not saying that he has to make this adjustment, just what I believe that when the adjustment has been made, I will like his character even more, at least in my opinion. So first, this tattoo on his shoulder. As you can see, it almost blends in with his scale. If I cover this part of the ref sheet, you probably won't even notice that he has a tattoo here, unless you look at it in detail to notice it. And so what I would do is I would make this scale brighter in either the same color as his horn. Maybe let's try it out. Nah, maybe something white to go along with his skin color here. Let's see. Yeah, maybe slightly bluish to go with his scale. Just like this. So it will pop out a lot more, and you can notice it on a glance. And then the next part I want to cover is maybe his leg. Like he won't be wearing socks anyway, so might as well add some scale there. To add on to his design and make him look tougher, at least. I mean, yeah, he's supposed to be cheerful, I think, but even then, he is a dragon, so he has to be somewhat tough. And it goes along with the scale pattern he has been adding over his body. Yeah, something like this. And maybe the bone on his elbow here, I don't think they really add anything to the character. So, and maybe I have a feeling that they will get in the way it will get in the way of his post in the future. So maybe it's best to, so if it was me, I will remove it. Just remember that the changes I made are to appeal to me. So if you already like your character the way he looks, there's nothing wrong with that too. Except maybe changing his name to something like Dragon Canas. I think that is great in Latin.